Hi guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video we are going to be in the bantamweight division using none other than probably still the best fighter on the game other than Robert Whittaker. I think they're close, but to be honest with you, I do think Petr is definitely the best fighter pound for pound on the game. I mean, and I'll showcase this in the videos. The first gameplay here is against a Jose Aldo. You can see I'm in Division 8, he's in Division 7, but he's just so versatile and you can use him in any way you want. If you want to out-grapple someone with Yan and they're an elite grappler, you can do it. If you want to out-strike them and they're an elite striker, you can do it. And you can see here my opponent obviously wasn't playing, gave him 1-2 and backed away. And yeah, I don't think he took that very well, although I could have started spamming and trying to get the knockout there, but I didn't. And you can see I get trapped against the fence. He catches me with a spinning elbow and then proceeds to triple elbow me, get the knockdown. And yeah, obviously not very happy. Taunts me here, which then frustrated me because I'm thinking, wait a minute, I had the chance to just knock your head off with a head kick if I wanted to, but I decided to step away and re-engage. But nevertheless, you'll see how I'll combat this, and you can see straight away he's really going for the finishing touches. He went for the 1-2 head kick, which of course when your block's broken is a real easy way of getting a knockdown. And you can see here I take him down with the Usigari trip, and that's another thing that Yan has that sort of really elevates him. When I think about him versus Whittaker, that debate is that he has that trip, and that trip is very, very hard to deny. You have to be a very good fighter to deny that trip, but you can see he's going to stay here, control him on the ground, and just look to inflict some damage. He's got the knockdown, so I know realistically I'm not going to be able to win this round. However, from side control, if you can establish just throwing these elbows to the head profusively and just keep on going, just do your best to not throw them in a rhythm, because that's when you'll really get caught out by people and they'll be able to, transition to a less dominant position for yourself. So throw them here and there. Don't throw. You can throw them in bunches, but stagger them. It's the same tip I'd give for being in crucifix. But I had a comment on one of my videos from a while back from someone called Rotty Rattle. So shout out to you, appreciate you, and basically emphasizing like why don't I use the knees? I should use the knees from there. The only reason I don't use the knees as much is purely because of the fact I feel like it's got a bigger window for your opponent to escape. I feel like loading up the knees takes a little longer than it does with the elbows. Obviously the elbows are short and fast, and I feel like there's less of a grace period for your opponent to deny it. But in the second gameplay clip I definitely took that advice, and you'll see that I start throwing knees from side control as well. But I'm doing a good job here overall of just controlling him on the ground now, really trying to wear away that head health. And one thing I noticed when you do fight Aldo is that over time, as long as you keep cracking him, the chin health starts to deteriorate a bit and it gets easier and easier to get these knockdowns. And I'm not too worried about when he gets back onto the feet. I mean, I'm using Yan. All it takes is one, and Yan's got the power to do so. And if I need to kickbox, I'll also kickbox with him as well. But of course, started off this round not great with the knockdown awarded to him, so that's definitely his round. But done a good job of recovering, keeping our head health in a stable position and whittling away his, keeping stamina in a good position. And we'll see starting the next round really where we're at with 10 seconds left to go. But Yan is definitely the most overpowered fighter in the game, I think, and he's not really overpowered because he's that good in real life. Obviously, he's coming off a bunch of losses, but he really is that good in real life. I mean, I think he's phenomenal to watch. I just think he's obviously had a very tough time, and obviously when you're the best in the world, or when you're one of the most elite fighters in the world, you go through all the other elite fighters. That's what we sign up to watch with the UFC. So it's to be expected to get some losses. It's very hard not to. You've got to be Habib level or John Jones level not to accumulate those losses. I mean, for a long time there, everyone thought that Usman wouldn't lose, and then he got head kicked and absolutely slept. And then he fought Leon again, and just very good game planning from Leon, which I'll probably make a video about. And of course, he ended up winning that one as well. So it just happens. Petr still is that guy. Give him another win under his belt, and we'll see what happens from there. Maybe Cheeto Yan would be a good matchup. But while this is playing out here, you can see he's resorting to the spinning elbows now. He's really not happy that I was going absolutely rip the body, and this just goes to show you like how fluid you can be with Yan. I mean, that was absolutely beautiful, and I chose to get the top position here because I know I've got a massive grappling advantage when it comes to this opponent here. So I'd rather settle and secure the position, even though I felt confident, and I'm not too worried about if he gets back onto the feet, because you can see the massive difference between the round 2 start and the round 1 start. Now we get the knockdown, and now I'm also in the dominant position. I'm back inside control. I know I can control him here and just whittle away at that chin. I mean, look at these elbows, bang, 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 one after the other. And this is what Jan has the ability to do, as well as that beautiful knockdown you saw. But while this is going on and playing out, I just want to say a huge, huge thank you for all the support on the channel as of recently. I'm forever grateful, really appreciate it. Love the community that we're building, on over 525 subscribers now, and just keep growing at a good pace. I'm very happy that you guys are enjoying the content, and like I said, any content suggestions or any tips you want to give me, or anything you want to see me do, please leave them in the comments below, and I will get around to working on that as I finish off the fight here. But yeah, so please just let me know in the comments. I will get around to it. And like I said, if you do enjoy the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more UFC 4 content. And now we are coming up against a Rob Font that was in a higher division. I think he might have been 19, don't quote me on that, maybe 19 or 15. I couldn't really see it there as I was talking, but Font is dangerous, very, very, very dangerous. He's someone that's forgotten about bantamweight, but he has very good hands, got a good kicking arsenal. Obviously, when it comes to the grappling side of things, that is where you can look to exploit a Font player, and that's exactly what you see me do here. So catch the teep, which is something I always recommend doing, or the roundhouse, walk into the cage, from the cage, get the takedown, straight into side control, and everyone knows what happens from here. I mean, if you're new to the channel, this is what I do against majority of fighters. I do like to stand. Obviously, stand is not my best attribute, and it's something that I am trying to work on and trying to improve on. I mean, when I fight the best of the best, obviously my stand-up is going to be an issue, but I should have a video coming out with GOAT. We're trying to get a collab again, and I can't wait to fight him, because best player in the world, that's where you really see where you're at, and you know, you can really see your weaknesses. But I've always known that my stand-up hasn't been my best attribute, which is why I really focused on my ground game, and you know, I feel like I've got a lot better this year in terms of implementing that grapple heavy approach. And the more you're good at one aspect of the game doesn't mean you should cancel out the others. I mean, I worked on my ground game for a long time, and now it's trying to bring my stand up to that element as well. But being good at one aspect also helps with the other, because people are so worried about the takedowns. It then leaves opportunities on the feet where people just get lazy. You can clip them, and the main thing is you just whittle away at the chin health. I mean, here I'm being very patient, not throwing in a rhythm so I don't get bumped off, and that's what I meant about rhythm throwing earlier. Pacing myself and just being calm, collected, waiting to see where he wants to go, and always thinking about the next step. Like always thinking, okay, where does he think I'm going to go? What does he think I'm going to throw? Constantly having him in mind and just making him work really. And I'm going to whittle away at that stamina, and his head health is going to be absolutely depleted if I can just keep him here. And right now, this has been a huge round in terms of control and strikes. I'm going to have a massive strike advantage, and coming into the second round there will probably be a big difference in health stats, and not only that, there will be a big difference in stamina stats, and I think it's around here where I potentially start throwing knees. So I'm getting the deniers here, and yeah, this is where I start throwing the knees as suggested by one of you guys, throwing these knees, whittling away at his body, trying to lower that stamina. And it's just, the knees are good, don't get me wrong, they do drain stamina, but the only thing is, I think that period of when the knee is lifting up to actually make contact with the body is a slightly too big of a window to just quickly go into sprawl, or quickly transition up to half guard, or to the side to half guard, or even get up if they have that option like certain wrestlers do, or the full guard transition. So that's stuff that I always keep in mind. You can see their massive difference, and this is against someone that's in a higher division than me. Like I said, divisions don't mean too much, but obviously it just means that this fighter is good. And coming in, you can see his head health is lower. He's not actually in a position where I think it should be. I definitely think it should be a lot lower than that. And we're starting on the feet again. This is where every fight starts. So if you're against someone that's a good striker, this is where their advantage is. And with Jan, I don't just like to outright grapple unless I need to change the pace of the fight, or I want to mix something up, or unless I'm desperate to. So after a heavy grappling round like that, where I know I've got a clear, distinct advantage, I could just shoot back and go into it, but I want to test myself on the feet. I want to see what my opponent's working with, and at the moment doing well, having some good exchanges. He lands a beautiful hook kick there. You can see switching stance, and Normally when I fight Petr or Jan, I'll be very defensive in my stance. I'll always match his stance just purely so that I can't, the Jan that's facing me can't get that trip. The Sagari trip, that's one tip. If you guys didn't know, that is what you can do. Just match the stance and he can't go for the trip. So I was wondering if that was what my opponent was doing here, but I don't know, it could be. He's a higher division player, so maybe he does know, but you can see he switches back here. I think he was just trying to give me different reads and different looks, which again, there's nothing wrong with that. That's exactly what you should be doing when you're a striker. And he caught me by surprise there on the way up. I thought he'd ripped to the body, but he went to the head and landed a very, very good uppercut. You can see, again, switch stance. I'm more reluctant to do so because I feel like I'm flying well out of the orthodox stance here, mixing up well to the body. Obviously, you've got to be cautious about the uppercuts when going to the body, and that is something that definitely causes me danger. And here, absolutely ripped a beautiful combination. And you can see in the pocket, I'm feeling confident. He's Rob Font here has got very good head movement, and obviously he can crack. He's got a lot of power, but just because of the work done in the last round, I know that my head health's in a better position, so it wouldn't take as much to knock me down. And you can see that's where I was very fortunate that my head health was as good as it was, because that could have at least been a stun if he'd done as much damage as I done the round prior. So that's why it's very important to preserve head health and minimise the damage you take, and also minimise the damage you take on your block. Is very, very important to mitigate the damage you take on your block, so then you can have a healthy block, and you know, as the fight goes on, your block stays at a higher level, you can absorb more punches, and it gives you more wiggle room to counter back. But Jan is just simply phenomenal on this game. Like, there's no debate. I do think he is the best fighter pound for pound in the game. He is the most quote-unquote overpowered. He's just that good. That doesn't mean there's not other viable options at bantamweight. Of course there is, and I see less people use Jan now than ever before, but you will notice that the elite of the elite, or the cheesiest of the top 100, whenever they're in bantamweight, will 100% go for Jan. And you saw that he went for the standing guillotine there, and that normally is a sign of desperation. And take that how you will, because of course I've used it here and there, but he only goes for it once. I wouldn't say it's cheesy, but it is definitely a sign of desperation, because that is what catches out a lot of the lower level players. I want to say the newer players to the game. Of course, if you play the game quite a lot, you'll know how to get out of it. Just remain calm and walk backwards. But yeah, it does catch a lot of people out. But we ended up getting a knockdown as well, so 1 knockdown each. I definitely had the more significant strikes of that round. And starting off this round here, I was very, very eager to get the finish on the feet. I know he's in a bad position, so I knew that a knockout was coming. See, sidestepped there, and he done a very good job of throwing there, because if he didn't, he would have been caught. But beautiful lead, head kick lands, rip to the body, and I'm just feeling very confident at this point. Good leg kick, and that's a walk-off knockout there. So if you did enjoy the video, don't forget to leave a like, comment for any content suggestions, and subscribe for more UFC content. Let me know who your favourite UFC fighter is down below on the game, and I'll see you next time. Peace.